How to do it. Let me show you how to do it.
Hi guys, so this is my E46. It's a 2002 330 Ci, and just want to share a quick experience with you. And if you own this car, this may be a problem that you might be facing. It's pretty common, for these vehicles to get into these issues. So I just want to cover a few things. One of the main thing which really caused a lot of panic for me, since it was the first time I experienced it, was I was driving, and all of a sudden my steering wheel got really jammed, and I was like, what is happening? My temperature of the car started to rise up. So of course I parked on the side, turned it off completely, came up and opened the hood, and what I found was the belt was completely open. So I mean, the belt came off from the whole thing, and I'm like, what happened? So I looked at the belt and couldn't really tell. So anyways, brought some tools, put the belt back on. Everything seemed okay, so I couldn't really tell what caused it to come off. And at that time, didn't know, so I put everything back on, brought the car back home. So, it did not come off, but the sound of the entire engine was not the same. It was like, I was hearing grinding noises. So I was thinking maybe one of the pulleys are bad. So I started looking around. I had to take this whole fan assembly off, this whole thing off, took the fan out. Then I started inspecting, and I noticed the pulley that goes on the top of the water pump was bad. So let me show you exactly how I found the pulley to be, so you can see how it broke from here. And so I'm like, wow, this thing is broken. So of course, when this was running, the belt came off from the side, and just kind of gave up. So I ordered another one of these, and was planning on putting it on. So I took this apart and slammed on a new one, put everything back together, and the noise was still there. I mean, the car would be very nice and quiet, when it was turned on, but later as it got warmed up, it had that sound again. So wasn't happy with the way it was sounding. So I'm like, okay, something is definitely not right. So I took everything apart, looked at the pulleys, tried to shake it and stuff like that. And when I was shaking this one, it had some movement in there, very slight movement, but the movement was in there. So I'm like, all right, something is not right. So this is attached to the water pump. So I'm like, okay, I think my water pump is shot. So what I ended up doing was ordered from Amazon, next day delivery. I got the water pump. It was like, I think $25, whatever. I end up ordering some of the other pulleys as well. So let me show you. So I noticed like this pulley right here was, had some, if you run it, it's not supposed to be like this. See how freely it is moving? So that's not good. That means the bearings are giving up. Normally if you run it, it's supposed to stop. It's supposed to turn and stop. So that's a sign of a bad pulley. Then I checked on this one. This one wasn't as bad, but you can see it still turns a little bit more freely. Not as much as the other one, but it's still not the best. So I was like, you know what, $15, I'm just gonna go ahead and order those two new pulleys. So I already had this piece, so took everything apart. Now, water pump. So I ordered the water pump. When my water pump came, I took out the old one, and let me show you exactly. Look at this. This thing is broken, and this is made in Germany, so I'm assuming genuine water pump. I have 146,000 miles on the car, and this thing, the bearing is shot, and you can see right, I don't know if you guys can see that, but the bearing is kind of like coming off. So this whole thing is a shot. So I see, not good at all. So I end up replacing this water pump. Now, probably the easiest job I have done on this car for replacing water pump. Some water pumps on some of the car could be very crazy to get to, but this one was so easy. Of course I had to drain some of the coolant, but Then I replaced this. Again, this was a piece of cake, replacing these pulleys, you know, not bad at all. This goes on top of water pump, so again, not bad at all. This to remove this, you know, it's not too bad, you know, just a clip right here. There's a screw right here. You just unplug this, you take this piece off, and of course, once you remove this, you know, this is just hold by this. You can remove the cover, and then this whole fan, you know, can come off. You know, you do have to have those proper tool to remove the fan blade. I'm not going to show you how to. You know, there's plenty of videos on YouTube you guys can watch, but my main purpose is to share my experience, what I found, and what condition were the stuff in. You know, so if you have mileage on your car, guys, highly recommend, you know, use good pulleys. You know, order some on Amazon. You don't have to order branded ones. You know, I just ordered aftermarket, and they're pretty good, you know. So definitely I would highly recommend change your water pump. You know, inspect the water pump from inside. If you're changing coolant, that's the best time to inspect it. You know, if it's plastic like mine, it might be breaking off inside. Or if you notice plastic, you know, when you drain the coolant, that's another indication that your water pump is breaking apart. And having a bad water pump on a car, of course, you know, it's bad for engine. You know, it's going to heat up the engine and stuff. So highly recommend for the cooling component, highly recommend change the reservoir too. I already changed mine. Some of the hoses, you might not need to replace the entire hose. You know, there are O-rings in these hoses, you know, so you can just get those O-rings and just replace the O-rings, and you might be okay, because the main leak happens from here. You know, if this part is looking good, then you don't really need to. So, you know, those are a couple of things. Also, there's the thermostat assembly is right here. So if you're getting and doing the water pump, and if you haven't changed the thermostat, highly recommend just go ahead and change it. That's another 20 bucks or something like that, you know, so that's cheap insurance on this particular car. So with that, you know, I did all that, you know, and that took care of the issue. Now, while I was doing all this, I decided to, you know, so once you do all that, your car is going to be, you know, good for another couple of thousand miles. So these are minor, cheap maintenance, you know. Also inspect your belt. If the belt got damaged, definitely change it, you know, or if you have mileage on the belt, highly recommend changing the belt and get a new one, you know. I have a Continental belt, not the genuine BMW, but those are amazing belt. I love Continental. With that, guys, you know, just wanted to share this experience. So hopefully it helps you if you own an E46. And if you guys like the video, please subscribe to my channel and like the video. Thank you.